Hello, folks, and welcome to this monumental video. Not to sound too grandiose about it, but to me it is. So, as of early this morning, I have now seen 1,000 movies in my lifetime. It's a hell of a milestone. Um, I'm surprised I got to this point because, well, I'm 27 now, and it's been a hell of a long way to get here, but we're here. So, I thought I would do this video just to mark the occasion. So this is primarily, it's going to be up on YouTube. Um, Over the next wee while, I will chop it down to 10-minute segments and I will upload them to TikTok, but primarily this is for YouTube. And this is just a sort of time capsule, if you will, for me. Um, just to look back on in a few years and say, I've seen 1,000 films, but by that point, I hopefully will have seen a lot more. So I'm screen recording this. I don't know how long the screen recorder actually records for. So if it cuts out halfway through, I guess we'll have our answer, don't we? But if it does, I'll pick it up. So I'm using, as you can see, I'm using Letterboxd here. This list that I've made up now. A few things to get through, apart from the movies, obviously. But this is a list from as long as I've been cataloging what I've been watching. I've tried to make a comprehensive list. Also, it's from memory as well. It's from asking my parents and my sister um, different things because obviously, your memory only goes back so far. But to my knowledge, this is an accurate list. Now, what you will see is I've sort of hit the option to go for alphabetical order. Um, it's in alphabetical order, but that doesn't mean that there's going to be some movies out of sync. There's going to be some movies in certain franchises that are further along on the list than they should be, but that's just the way it is. I mean, you can sort of see it right there. But with the 101 Dalmatians, the two live action ones are spaced apart. But anyway, that's another thing. Another thing I would mention is that there are some franchises I've seen most of the movies, but I haven't seen all the movies. But that's just how it happened. Some point maybe I will finish the franchises, but I'm not too sure. So if anyone's wondering why I've maybe seen 3 out of 4 of the movies, that's just because I've only seen 3 out of 4 of the movies. Anyway, I've rambled long enough, so let's get into it. We'll view it in the carousel. Now, I've tried this out, and at some point you have to stop swiping and go back and then go back in. But if we'll have to do that, we'll do it. Anyway, without further ado, here we go. So, 101 Dalmatians, 1986. This is one that I saw when I was very young. Came out the year I was born, obviously. Don't remember a whole lot of it, but I've seen it. This, on the other hand, 101 Dalmatians 2, Patch's London Adventure. This was one of those Disney direct-to-video sequels that came out. Um, this one I watched a ton. I had it on VHS. Used to watch it at home at my granny's house on repeat. So I've seen this movie plenty of times. Always a great one. 102 Dalmatians. I've seen this once in parts again when I was very young. Don't remember a lot about it. 10 Cloverfield Lane, the only Cloverfield film I've seen. This is a great thriller with John Goodman, Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Great claustrophobic thriller. I've seen this a couple of times. It's great. 12 Rounds with John Cena. Seen it once, not great, and I don't think I've seen it the whole way through. 1917, a fantastic spectacle of a war movie. Only seen it once, only will watch it once. It was what it was. Wasn't one I keep going back to. 21 Jump Street, this surprised me because I was one of the ones who everyone was jumping on the bandwagon of Channing Tatum, and I was like, what the hell? He's a pretty boy. But he's great comedy chops, and him and Jonah Hill are a great partnership. Likewise, 22 Jump Street. I think I like this one slightly more, but those two are a great comedy pairing, so yeah. 28 Days Later, what a visceral horror movie from Danny Boyle, who's one of my favourite directors. Cillian Murphy, I think it's one of Cillian Murphy's earliest appearances in film. could be wrong with that. And I know he did the Wind That Shakes the Barley before that, but it's one of his earliest appearances, and of course he's a megastar now. And Brendan Gleeson is in this as well. Great apocalyptic zombie movie. 28 Weeks Later, not as good as the first, but still great. And obviously, you've got Robert Carlyle in the film, who is always a treat to watch on screen. 300, Zack Snyder, obviously. Seen it a couple of times, haven't seen it in quite a few years. I might have to revisit it. I can't explain this one. Three Ninjas, High Noon at Mega Mountain. Um, Everyone knows I'm a huge wrestling fan. Hulk Hogan's in it. And Jim Varney for some reason is in it. Yeah. I don't know. 40-Year-Old Virgin. What a funny fucking movie. Steve Carell is one of the funniest guys working in Hollywood today. Obviously, if anyone hasn't seen the American version of The Office, what are you doing? You need to see it. Michael Scott is one of the best characters ever, and Steve Carell in this film is fucking hilarious. And obviously you've Paul Rudd and Seth Rogen and a load of supporting characters, and it's a extremely funny movie. Judd Apatow movie, extremely funny. 51st Dates. This was the one that reunited Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore. I don't remember a lot about the movie. I remember the plot, obviously. Drew Barrymore has short-term memory loss. But I remember the ending being quite sweet. 51st State. This was a letdown for me. Yeah, it's kind of all over the place, this movie. It's about Samuel L. Jackson's like a drug dealer, and he comes to Liverpool to do a drug deal, and ends up with Robert Carlyle, and well, Robert Carlyle's good in it. That's all I'll say about it. 71. This was a great movie. Recommendation from friends over the years. Never got to watch it. Watched it a year or two ago. This is fantastic. It's about a young squatty played by Jack O'Connell, pictured there, who is his unit is deployed to Belfast in the Troubles, and he ends up getting separated from his platoon on the streets, and he has to try and get back to the army base. And obviously the British Army on the streets of Northern Ireland back then, it was very rare that you got a friendly face to help you. But this was a great movie. 8 Mile, fantastic. Eminem, to date, I think it's his only starring role. I think it's his first time acting as well. I've always loved this movie. When I was early teens, I was mad into rap music, as I think, excuse me, as I think pretty much everybody is at some point in their life is big into rap. But Eminem, even to this day, I still listen to Eminem. He's a genius, and 8 Mile was a great film. 8mm, oh boy, this is one of those ones you may be sitting next to a shower after you watch it because you're going to need one. Good God, this is a seedy fucking movie. Nicolas Cage is great in it. And also in a bit part you have the late great James Gandolfini, Tony Soprano himself, in this movie. I think this was this a Joel Schumacher film, I want to say. Believe it was. But yeah, only seen it once. Might only want to watch it once. I don't know. I'll see. The Absent-Minded Professor. This is one of the classic Disney movies. Again, this was one that I watched when I was really young. It sticks out in my mind because I think this was the inspiration for Flubber with Robin Williams, which is coincidentally also a Disney movie, but made about 20 years after it. But yeah, I don't remember a whole lot about it. Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. 1994 was a great year for Jim Carrey, and this was the first movie that came out that year. He also had Dumb and Dumber and The Mask. I've also Ace Ventura, funny movie. And I might prefer the sequel even more. Yes, I know that's controversial, but I think I've seen the sequel more than the original. I've seen the original for a few times, but the sequel I have seen more, I know that much. Addams Family, great 90s movie. Raul Julia. That's hard to say in my accent, but plays Gomez. Angelica Houston, plays Morticia, and then you have the great Christopher Lloyd playing Uncle Fester. This is just one of those movies that you always remember from your childhood, and yeah, it's a great time. Adam's Family Values. I don't remember this one as much, but I do remember liking it. An Adventure in Space and Time. Now, this was um when this aired back when it's actually 10 years ago now for the 50th anniversary of Doctor Who. This was like a dramatized account of how Doctor Who came into being. Um, and it's interesting as well because David Bradley, who you see there playing, he was actually playing William Hartnell, who played the first Doctor in Doctor Who. Because of this, he actually reprised the role of the first Doctor in Doctor Who a few years later, which I thought was cool. Just how that all worked out. But this is a great film. If anyone hasn't seen it and you're a fan of Doctor Who, I implore you to see it. It's fantastic. Plus, there's a cameo towards the end, and yeah, I cried the first time I saw it. It was great. Agent Cody Banks, again, another childhood one. I haven't seen it in years. I do remember really loving it though. This was when, Frankie Muniz was doing Malcolm in the Middle and he was huge, and then you had Hilary Duff who was doing Lizzie McGuire for Disney, and she was huge at the time too, so it all just came together. Agent Cody Banks 2, Destination London. For some reason, this had one of the girls out of S Club 7 in it, and that's all I really remember about it. But yeah, I've seen it. Air Force One. Harrison Ford playing perhaps the greatest film president ever, apart from Bill Pullman in Independence Day, who we'll get to later on. But Gary Oldman playing the villain. Gary Oldman, you can't go wrong with Gary Oldman, or Harrison Ford for that matter. Um, this was a great late 90s action movie, one that took me a long time to see it as well, but a great time. Airplane, one of the absolute funniest movies ever, and it's so simple, but the jokes are so complicated in their setup and their payoff, but it's so seamlessly done. I mean, this was the movie that brought Leslie Nielsen to the spotlight, who we'll talk about later on, but never fails to make me laugh. Then you have Airplane 2, the sequel, which isn't talked about. A lot of people don't talk about the sequel because, I'll be honest, compared to the original, it's kind of inferior. But I still have a lot of chuckles at this one. Aladdin, classic Disney movie, Robin Williams as the genie. Do yourself a favor, don't watch the remake with the slapper, Will Smith. Just don't watch it. It doesn't capture the magic. No pun intended. Yeah, absolute classic. Love it. Alien, Ridley Scott, one of the best horror movies ever made. Again, it took me years to watch this. I mean, yeah, like the whole franchise took me years to watch this. But I absolutely love it, and it is terrifying. See, this is what I mean about this being out of sequence, because this is actually annoying me. But you have Alien 3. David Fincher directed this, but if you ask him, he'll say he didn't. Yeah, this was a mess of a movie. Not quite as bad as people make it out to be, but it was a mess of a movie, and the studio have a lot to answer for. I think it was it Fox was involved in this, but they had a lot of interference, and David Fincher's vision was, in all essences, tarnished. So he's distanced himself from this movie, and you can't really blame him. Alien Resurrection. I ain't gonna be honest. I've always liked this one. This is the one that's really well, to a lesser extent than Alien 3. This is the one that's always shit on the franchise. I've always kind of liked it. Yes, it's weird. The human alien hybrid thing at the end is gross and a bit off-putting, but it's still a marvel of practical effects, I think. But yeah, you've Winona Ryder in it, whose acting has never really been that good, but I don't know. I've always had fun with it. Aliens, the best of the franchise. I love the first one, but this is the best one because this was when James Cameron took the reins, and James Cameron is a genius in my eyes. And he turns Sigourney Weaver into an absolute badass, and it's one of the first strong female characters I think we ever had in film. So it's iconic for that reason, and plus the end sequence with the alien queen is just iconic. Yeah, like it's a bash. What did I just say there? My brain's going melted already. I'm not even out of the edge yet. Oh good God, I'm really sorry. What? Booyaka shot. That's what I meant to say. Oh my God! Right, stop it, Jason. Stop it. Right. Anyway, Ali G in the house is Sacha Baron Cohen. One of his characters, Ali G, got his own movie. Very very stupid movie, but I sort of grew up with it and I love it. Alvin and the Chipmunks. The This was huge whenever it came out. I think it was 2007. Yes, 2007. This was. I remember the marketing for this movie being massive. There was a trailer like every 5 minutes on TV for it. It was huge, and then I remember going to see it in the cinema. And as being younger, because I would have been about 10 or 11 that came out, I liked it, but in hindsight, it's very kiddish. The Amazing Spider-Man. Hindsight's a wonderful thing because going back to watch this movie in retrospect, having seen, well, I've seen every Spider-Man live action movie. This is very underrated. Andrew Garfield was very underrated as Peter Parker in this, and going back to watch it after No Way Home, it was interesting because I do appreciate it more now. On the flip side, this is a complete pile of garbage. Again, not Mark Webb's fault. This was definitely Sony sticking their oar in. You had three, was it three villains or four villains? There's too many villains, put it that way, and it was all these ideas, and they were just thrown at the wall to see what sticks. But the things that stuck didn't gel together, and it's a mess of a movie. American Pie, absolute classic. You couldn't make a movie like this nowadays. That's all I'm saying. It's very on PC, but it's funny as all hell. American Pie 2, even better in my opinion. This is probably the best of the original movies. This is my favorite. This is where they all go to the beach house for spring break, and yeah, it's brilliant. There's a segment with like super glue, and that's all I'm gonna say. Out of sequence again, but American Pie Band Camp. Only seen this once. Don't remember being very good. Beta House, for being a spin-off movie, this was very funny. Um, yeah, not much more to say about it except I enjoyed it. Book of Love again. Only seen this once. Don't remember a lot about it. Neck and Mile might be my favorite of the spin-off movies. It's just crazy. Um, and it makes you wonder why university over here can't be like this. I mean, I understand, college in America isn't completely like this, but I know there's frat parties and stuff like they can get a bit out of hand. But yeah, this is really good time to watch this movie. Favorite of the spin-offs, as I said. Oh, guess we're done with American Pie for now. Anyway, American Psycho, one of my favorite movies of all time. Christian Bale, probably his best performance he's ever given. A lot of people consider this a horror movie. To me, it's a comedy. I find it hilarious. In all the best ways. It's such a good movie. Oh, here we go. American Reunion. This was the latest and possibly last installment. Well, 11 years ago now, but I remember seeing this in the cinema. I really enjoyed it. It was great to see a lot of the original cast back together. Especially Oz there in the back because he wasn't in the American Wedding, so it was good to see him back. But yeah, it was a good time. American Wedding. The club scene in this, whenever they're trying to get a guy to make Michelle's dress and stuff, her has to dance with a guy. It's one of the funniest scenes ever. Amityville Horror. This, believe it or not, this was the first time that I ever saw Ryan Reynolds in a movie. And this movie, it scared the piss out of me whenever I saw this. Again, I've only seen it once, and I haven't seen any of the original ones. But yeah, Ryan Reynolds, I remember being good in it. Anaconda. This was one of those late 90s um horror movies that you used to get from time to time. Very entertaining. You had Ice Cube, John Voight, Jennifer Lopez, and Eric Stoltz, and that is the most random fucking cast I've ever heard when I'm listing them off like that. But it's great. Like the CGI on the snake isn't by today's standard is dog shit. Like, but if you ignore that and take it with the story, it's a very entertaining movie. Anchorman 2, The Legend Continues. I love both Anchorman movies. Will Ferrell's amazing, and obviously you have Paul Rudd and Steve Carell. And what is that guy's name? I can't even remember that actor's name, and I'm really sorry because he's really funny and everything. But yeah, the four of those guys are amazing. You have Anchorman, of course, The Legend of Ron Burgundy. Again, took me a long time to see these movies, but they're so funny. Really funny. If you haven't seen them, check them out. Angela's Ashes. This was a dark watch. This is based on the novel, I believe. I can't remember who the author is, but it's about an Irish family. I think it's set in the late 1800s, early 1900s, something like that, and they're basically dirt poor. Uh, the father's an alcoholic. There's like I think there's 5 or 6 siblings, and like two of them die just from the cold and malnourishment and all. And it's a really dark movie, but it's really well made. Anger Management, Jack Nicholson and Adam Sandler. I love this movie. This is one of my favorite comedies. This is when Adam Sandler. I think this was when his good movies sort of stopped. But this is a fun time if you haven't seen it. Annie. This is one of those ones where if if anyone watches this they're from Northern Ireland or the UK, you'll remember whenever you were in primary school, the teachers used to wheel in like the big block TV on the on like the wee cart, and you used to watch movies all day. This was when I remember seeing this for the first time. Um, and I remember Tim Curry's in it because he always do that. Tim Curry always stands out whenever he does. But yep, Annie, Ant Man. This is a movie that I had no interest in seeing at all. Because even back then I was starting to get a bit burnt out with Marvel. But it was a really fun time, I have to say. Ant Man the Wasp, not as good as the first one. I don't even remember really what happens in this one, except that the set up the quantum realm, which takes us into hopefully Ant Man the Wasp: Quantumania. Um, this gets a lot of unnecessary hate in my opinion. Is it as good as a lot of the Marvel movies? Absolutely not. Is it as bad as people say? Definitely not. It's this is the first time that we've seen Jonathan Majors unleashed as Kang, and thankfully it looks like he's going to be found innocent here, what he should be if you've been following the case. He can continue to play Kang, but he was great in this, a great villain. Apollo 13. This is a classic. I think this is a Ron Howard movie, if I'm not mistaken. Again, I've seen this once. Need to see it again. From what I remember, it was great. The Aristocats, boy, when I tell you, I ran out the VHS on this one when I was younger. I used to watch this about twice a day. I used to love the Aristocats. I still do love the Aristocats. It's a great little Disney movie. Yeah, Armageddon, Michael Bay. Oh, Michael Bay. What happened to you? This is a great movie. Um, about like an asteroid going to collide with the Earth, and one of the biggest nonsensical movie decisions ever, rather than get astronauts and train them how to drill holes so they can set the bomb in. They do it the other way around. They get drillers and train them how to be astronauts, which seems like doing it the other way would just save a lot of time and a lot of money. Would maybe have been best option, but then again, you'd have no movie. Anyway, I'm getting off on a tangent. Always enjoyed Armageddon. The A Team. No one ever talks about this. Like this just came and went when it came out. Um, I've I've always loved the A Team, like the TV series, and when I heard they were making a movie, I was really excited, and I remember seeing this twice in cinemas, and always I really loved it. Haven't seen it in a long time, but I have to watch it again. It's a really fun time if you haven't seen it. Out of sequence, all three Austin Powers are comedy gold. Meg Myers is a genius in these movies. They're so quotable. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, you have Goldmember, which was the last one, or so we think. You have first one, Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery, and then you have The Spy Who Shagged Me. As I said, all three of these are comedy classics if you haven't seen them. Such a fun time. Avatar, I hate Avatar. I do not get the big hype about Avatar. It took him 12 years to make a sequel to it. James Cameron, I'm talking about, and that's all he's going to be doing the rest of his life is making Avatar sequels, and I just think that's a shame and a complete waste. Because this is essentially Dances with Wolves with big blue people. The Avengers. It's hard to believe this is only 11 years old, given how many movies we've had between it and where we are now. I think there must be about 20 movies or something between this now, but it's only 11 years old. I love the Avengers. Avengers Age of Ultron, out of the four Avengers movies, is definitely the weakest, but it's not as bad as some people say it is. But yeah, what it won't be one that I'll go back and watch. Put it that way. Endgame, my God, one of the best cinema experiences I've ever had. The goosebumps that I had in the portal scene. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. Well, everyone's seen Endgame, so what am I talking about? But the portal scene is one of the most goosebump inducing, heart racing moments that I've seen ever. So well done and great movie. This may be my favorite of Avengers movie, Infinity War, purely because of the way that it ends, where the bad guy wins, which you never see in a superhero movie. Like, never see in one of those movies. And I thought it was such a breath of fresh air. Great. Alien versus Predator. Seen it once. Don't remember it. Don't think it's very good. Awakenings. Oh, this is a great film. Robert De Niro is he's a patient, and I forget what the term is for it. I'm just going to call it locked in syndrome because that's what I think it is. But he plays a patient with that, and Robin Williams is his doctor, and he believes that he can find a way to bring him back to normal. And spoiler alert, he does. But it's about what happens after that, and this is such a heartwarming and heartbreaking movie at the same time. Really great. Babe, again, another childhood one. I haven't seen it in quite a few years. Always remember liking it though. Babe Pig in the City. The only bit I remember from this movie is that where like the farmer's wife, she gets like a big arse or something, or she gets like an inflatable arse. Or am I remembering that wrong? Maybe I'm not. I don't know. But yeah, Baby Driver, a recent watch for me. Really enjoyed this one. Edgar Wright. It's hard to go wrong with his movies. Baby's Day Out, again, a childhood one. This is guess it's a funny slapstick movie. I'll put it that way. Oh, one of my top 10 movies of all time. This is quite simply one of the most perfect movies ever made. Sorry, smoke break. Um, what can be said about this movie that hasn't already been said? Michael J. Fox is perfect in this movie. Christopher Lloyd is perfect. Crispin Glover, even though he's slightly weird, is perfect in this movie. Leah Thompson as well. Tom Wilson as Biff is one of the best movie bullies, probably the best movie bully ever. And like everything in this movie just fell into place. And it's one of those movies where if it's on TV, no matter what part it's at, I'll stop and watch the whole thing to the end. Back to the Future 2, a great sequel. Um, what else can I say? It's Back to the Future. Back to the Future 3, interestingly, this was the one that I always watched most growing up as a kid. I don't know why, it just always was. But as I said, I love the three of them like equally. And I'll watch them anytime. Bad Day for the Cut. Now, this is a movie that I guarantee you a lot of people will not have heard of. So this is basically Taken meets Green Grass, I suppose. That could be a good comparison. It's basically it's set in Northern Ireland, and you have a farmer that's the guy with the shotgun there. His mother gets murdered because he lives with his mother on the farm. His mother gets murdered in what looks like a botched robbery, but you find out it's something else, and he basically goes. As I said, he goes all taken on them, and it was incredibly entertaining, I have to say. Yeah, it's one of those ones I don't think many people have seen, but it's on Netflix, so if you haven't seen it, I would recommend it. Let's see. Bad Education movie. Bad Education is a good wee sitcom. If you haven't seen it, and the movie is just a feature length version of it, I suppose. Banshees of Inisherin. Um, Obviously this was a top Oscar contender this year. I liked it. I don't think I quite got it. I would have to watch it. Excuse me. Um, I would have to watch it again. Um, just to finalize my thoughts on it. But what's wrong with me today? Excuse me, folks. Um, I thought Brendan Gleeson and Colin Farrell were fantastic in it, and Barry Keoghan. I think that's how you said. Oh, excuse me. Barry Keoghan was a standout as well, and he wasn't even the main character. But his performance was heartbreaking in this movie. I was young, people. I was young. Oh no, this movie was. Guess you'd call it my sexual awakening. Oh, why did I say it like that? But you, you guys know what I mean. I was about 11 or 12, and this movie came on TV, and it came on right at the start, and I'm just going to say two words: Sharon Stone. That's all. Batman '89, Tim Burton's Batman. Love this movie to bits. Primarily for Jack Nicholson as the Joker, but Keaton's always been a great Batman to me. This was so good, so good. Yes, it's quite dated now, but at the end of the day, it came out in 1989. What do you expect? But it's a classic. Okay, now we have the most recent Batman, the Robert Pattinson Batman, the Matt Reeves Batman. I have it rated 5 stars there. Okay. I went to see it in IMAX when it came out, and it blew me away. Loved it. And then I got it on Blu-ray, and I watched it again because that was only the second time that I watched it. And I thought to myself, this drags quite a bit. Like there's a lot of there's certain parts in the second half that does drag, and does that affect my overall opinion of the movie? Not really, but it makes it not be as high as it was. But that's all I'm going to say. I can't wait for the sequel. Just say that much. Batman Begins, the start of Nolan's trilogy. The Nolan trilogy is amazing. One of my favorite trilogies. And this was a great way to start it off. Christian Bale is great. He's a great Bruce Wayne and Batman. I like this movie. What can I say? It's a lot better than the one that came after it. Put it that way. Batman Returns with Danny DeVito as the Penguin and Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman. Do you need to say more? Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. This movie has grown on me over the years. I hated it when I first saw it, and then I got the Blu-ray, which was the ultimate cut. So I think that's like the extended edition of it. And again, an appreciation for it. Now, did it fix the whole DCU thing? Absolutely not. But it's a really fun time, and I'm gutted that we never got a Ben Affleck Batman movie, like a solo one. It's a great shame. Beaches, oh my god. First time I watched this because my mum loved this movie, and she was always on me to watch it before I did. And there was one Sunday I had a bit of a heavy night, and I was a bit hungover, so it was a bit emotional anyway. And I seen this. I can't remember where it was on, but I seen it on the TV, and I put it on, and I mean I cried my eyes out. It's such a beautiful movie. Bean. If you like Mr. Bean, you'll like this. The Beast Within. This is a early 80s horror movie, body horror movie. I happened to see this one night on Film 4, and yeah, it's not great. The practical effects are amazing in it for the time, but it's not very memorable. Beauty and the Beast, again, don't bother with the live action remake. Because they're pointless and they're just blatant cash grabs. I believe I've only seen this once, but this is a classic. Like everyone knows Beauty and the Beast. Bedknobs and Broomsticks, again, another classic Disney movie. I've seen it once when I was off from work, sick. Off from school. Sorry, I should clarify that. Off from school, sick. Seen it once. Don't remember a whole lot except the floated along the bottom of the ocean on the bed or something. Yeah. But everyone knows this. Beethoven, classic 90s movie. I love Beethoven. Beethoven Second is where Beethoven gets a girlfriend and have all the puppies. These are the direct-to-video ones, I do believe. Yeah, again, I used to get these all the time out of Extravision. Extra points, if anyone remembers what Extravision is. Beethoven's Fourth, yeah, same thing. These movies are interchangeable because I always thought they were the same movie. But anyway, Beetlejuice, took me a while to see this too. Great Tim Burton movie. And Michael Keaton is amazing in it. Beverly Hillbillies, this is another one of those ones that I watched in school. It's, you know what, this is a good time. It's a good time. Beverly Hills Cop, Eddie Murphy is class. I don't care what anyone says. BFG. Oh, this is a classic. This one makes me feel really nostalgic watching this one. The animation style. The score in this is beautiful, absolutely beautiful score. And of course you have the legend that is David Jason, Delboy himself, voicing the BFG. This is a great wee time. If you've got kids and they haven't seen this, show this to them. Don't show them the Spielberg one. And that hurts me to say because I love Spielberg, but don't show them that one because it's like I'm sure it's a well-made movie, but it just looks so soulless. Bicentennial Man. This is a Robin Williams movie that it always gets absolutely shit on. And I don't know why. I mean, the only thing I can think of is that it's uber long. I mean, it's about 2.5 hours long, but that doesn't really bother me. It really doesn't. But But I've always loved this one, and it's Robin Williams. Like, you can't go wrong with Robin Williams. I don't care what anyone says. Big Tom Hanks. This is very problematic, and I hate using that word because it's such a millennial thing to say. But yeah, essentially you have this kid who has a fight with his mum, and him and his best mate go down the arcade at the beach, and he finds this Zoltar machine, which can tell you your fortune or whatever, or you can make wishes on it, and he wishes to be big, and he puts it in, and it ends up being a magical machine, and he wakes up and he's Tom Hanks, but he looks like Tom Hanks, but he still acts like a kid. And the worst thing about this movie is he ends up going to work for this like toy company because obviously he's the mind of a kid, so he's ideally for the job and he knows what kids like. And he ends up this business executive, I think it's Elizabeth Perkins, I think plays her. She ends up falling for him and they end up sleeping together, and it's so when you step back and think about it, because he's meant to be about 10 years old, it is so wrong. But it's a fun movie. Can I say that? I don't know. Big Daddy. Oh, I love this movie. Kangaroo Song. Fucking love this movie. Peak Adam Sandler. Big Lebowski. Seen this once, never got the big whoop about it. I like Jeff Bridges. I can't speak. Jeff Bridges. Love John Goodman. Love Steve Buscemi. And you have like Sam Elliott, the narrator, who's always class. Big Mama's House. Had the VHS of this too, and I wore it out too. Used to love Big Mama's House. Big Mama's House 2. Not as good, but still pretty good. And I haven't seen the third one. Billy Madison. I'm not as enamored with this one as other people are. I like Billy Madison, but one of my favourite ones. Black Beauty. Oh, this movie is heartbreaking. This was another one of those ones that they used to show you in school, or you used to watch in school or whatever. Oh, this movie is so sad. It's so heartwarming as well, but it's so sad. And you have Alan Cumming, he's the voice of Black Beauty, and Black Beauty narrates the movie, and it's heartbreaking. It really is heartbreaking, but it's such a beautiful movie. Black Panther. Now, I'm so sorry we lost Chadwick Boseman because as Black Panther he was so cool, but this movie got blown way out of the water whenever it came out. I'm just saying that I'm not a big fan of it. The Black Phone. This was a really fun horror movie. Ethan Hawke is terrifying in it. Apparently they're doing a sequel to it, which I don't know how that's going to work. Considering that, spoiler alert, Ethan Hawke gets killed off, but maybe it's a prequel for all we know. I don't know, but look forward to seeing it. Blade, fucking love Blade. Wesley Snipes, badass. Blade 2, even better. Guillermo del Toro directed this one. And this is definitely a lot darker. It's a better story as well. I think you have like these creatures. They're like a new strain of vampire. They're called Reapers, and they eat vampires as well as humans. So the vampires and the humans have to team up to fight them. This is I love this movie. Blade Trinity, the one with Triple H. That's what I remember about this one. Well, that and you have Ryan Reynolds being Deadpool without being Deadpool. It's a fun time. Blockers, or as it's meant to be called, cock blockers. I've seen this once. I remember absolutely nothing from it, and I'll never watch it again, probably because, well, it didn't make a big effect on me. Bloodsport. I think this is the only Jean-Claude Van Damme movie I've ever seen. It's class, but never been a big Van Damme guy, or Seagal, especially Seagal. Never been a big Seagal guy either. Oh, this is a controversial one. Bloody Sunday. The direction that this movie takes, I don't agree with it at all. It's very one-sided. It's very well made. I'll say that much. But it's clear this is making a political statement, and it's not one that's fair and unbiased in my opinion. Just my opinion. Don't know about anyone else, but yeah. Blues Brothers classic. Blue Velvet. This is a David Lynch movie, isn't it? David Lynch. Yeah. Um, this is a very wacky movie. It's very creepy as well. Seen it once. Really enjoyed it though. The Bodyguard. Absolutely love The Bodyguard. Whitney Houston's first and I believe only acting role. Am I right in that? Maybe I'm not. I'm not too sure. But Kevin Costner plays the bodyguard to Whitney Houston, who's playing a singer. Funny enough. I've also enjoyed this. It's got a great soundtrack. Now we get to Bohemian Rhapsody. Excuse me, folks, while I take a drink here. My throat's getting a bit dry already, and God, I dread to think where we are in the list. Bohemian Rhapsody. Now, I went to see this movie. It must be 5 times in the space of 2 weeks in the cinema. Went the first time with my mum, second time with my dad, third time with my mates, fourth time with the wee sister, and the fifth time I think I took a date to it, if I do remember. Yes, but I've I've been brought up on Queen. I love Queen. Um, and this was made for me. This movie, yeah, is it historically inaccurate? Absolutely, it is. There's a big gaping plot hole where Freddie Mercury announces to the rest of the Queen that he has AIDS before they did Live Aid. Um, but that's not what happened, and that's been confirmed in the past by the band members. But yeah, if you're a fan of Queen, you love their music. This is a great movie to watch, especially when they recreate Live Aid at the end. Seeing that in IMAX, I had goosebumps. Unbelievable. Both Disney movie, I remember nothing about this. The Bone Collector. Is a great little thriller. Um, excuse me, I'm really sorry. I'm full of gas or something today. That's very appealing, isn't it? Anyway, Bone Collector. You have blank on his name. Blank on Denzel Washington's name. I am so sorry, sir. You have him. He plays Lincoln Rhyme, who's a detective who ends up in an accident, and he's a quadriplegic or paraplegic. I think he can't move anything from the neck down. But he's still a detective, and then you have Angelina Jolie. She's like a beat cop who ends up being brought on to the investigation of the serial killer called the Bone Collector. Um, this is a great little thriller. Bone Tomahawk. I've already talked about this one on TikTok before. I enjoyed it. Wasn't what I thought it was going to be. Um, it's a bit of a slow burn, if I'm honest, but I enjoyed it well enough. Boogie Nights, Paul Thomas Anderson. I need to watch this movie again. I've only seen it once and it was years ago, but I do remember really liking it. Oh yes, Borat. Fucking is there anybody who doesn't love Borat? Well, maybe people in the areas of America where this was exploiting, I suppose. But everyone knows Borat. Everyone loves Borat. Borat 2, it had funny parts, but I thought it was a big waste of time, to be honest. I didn't think it was anywhere near as funny as the first one. The Borrowers, again, another childhood one. Seen it once, don't remember a lot about it. The Boss Baby, don't judge me. Bowfinger. Now this may be a bit of a cheat. I've only seen parts of this. I haven't seen it the whole way through. I remember liking it from what I do remember. I think it's like Eddie Murphy plays this guy. He's like a nerd, and he finds a guy that looks exactly like him, but it's just Eddie Murphy playing someone else, and he's a stunt double or something. I don't remember. Oh, Boy in the Striped Pajamas. This is a hard watch. They made us watch this in school too, which I don't know what that says about the school, but yeah. This is it's a very very tough movie to watch. The subject matter, well, if you know anything about history, you know what it's about. Very very sad. Bram Stoker's Dracula, Francis Ford Coppola. This might be my favorite. Well, it's not my favorite vampire movie. We'll get to that later on, but certainly my favorite movie about Dracula. Gary Oldman again is outstanding. Keanu Reeves, his British accent leaves a lot to be desired. Let's just put it nicely. And you have Anthony Hopkins playing Van Helsing. I mean, what more could you ask for? Braveheart, one of my favorite movies of all time. Oh, excuse me, folks. I do apologize. Um, but no, I love this movie to death. I don't know how many times I've watched it. Must be in the it's double figures at least. It's such a good time whenever you watch it. It's about I think it's about 2 hours and 50, but it doesn't feel like it ever. It just flies past, and it's phenomenal. Breakdown. This is an underknown and underrated little thriller. You have Kurt Russell and his wife. They're traveling to a new home across country, and they end up breaking down on the side of the road. And a truck driver comes along and offers to take them into the town so they can call for help. So Kurt Russell, he offers to stay with the car because he doesn't think it's wise for his wife to stay on her own. So his wife goes into town with a trucker, which would you let your wife go off with a strange trucker that you don't know? But anyway, and the wife doesn't come back, so that's where the film starts from, and it's very entertaining, very very good. Breakfast Club, absolute classic movie. Again, it took me years to see it, and I'm sorry it did. This is one of those movies that makes you think about life, really does, and how you act when you're a teenager. It's very thought provoking. I'll just say that much. Bride of Chucky, probably my favorite Child's Play movie. So funny and so dark and so bloody. Love it. Bridesmaids. Now, on paper, this would not be my kind of movie at all, but fortunately, I give it a go and I absolutely love it. The talent that you have in this movie, you've Kristen Wiig, um, Maya Rudolph, not Jenny McCarthy. What do you Melissa McCarthy, not Jenny McCarthy, Melissa McCarthy. Um, and you have the woman who she played Erin in The Office. I can't remember what you call her, but she's in it too. And then you have Rose Byrne. So you have a cast of very funny ladies in this, and this is hilarious. This movie. Brokeback Mountain. I make no apologies about watching this movie. It's beautiful. It's so powerful, and completely well acted by Jack Gyllenhaal and of course the late great Heath Ledger. Broken Arrow. Seen this once, need to see it again. I was always told to watch it because I love Face Off and Con Air and all, but I do have to watch it again. Oh, here we go. First stopgap. Sorry, folks, bear with me. Through this again. There we go. Bronson. Um, this is basically Tom Hardy in a movie by himself, playing Charles Bronson, not the actor, but the criminal. I did like it, not as much as I thought I would. Um, it's very long winded in places, I think, but the visuals, like, the stuff he says in his mind is very well realized. It was, don't get me wrong, it entertained the hell out of me. Really liked it, but I was expecting a lot more from it. Brother Bear, I've definitely seen this, but I remember nothing about it. Need to rewatch it again because, well, at the end of the day, it's a well. Was this Pixar or was this just Disney? Someone tells me this was just Disney. I don't think it was Pixar, but I need to watch it again. Bruce Almighty. What else can be said of Bruce Almighty? If you grew up with it, you grew up with it. Jim Carrey is God, literally. Oh, I loved this movie so much. It took me years to watch this one. I'm so glad I did though. This is heartbreaking, this movie, but it's so funny too, and it's so I don't even know the words. You have like Morgan Freeman, who's like a mechanic, and then Jack Nicholson, who's like a businessman, and they both end up in the same hospital ward, and they both end up being diagnosed with the same kind of cancer, and it's terminal. And it's about how they're from obviously they're from different ends of the spectrum, with race and their job and money and all, obviously, but it's about them becoming best friends, and they start talking about this bucket list that each of them have, and I'll say no more than that. It's beautiful. Buried, Ryan Reynolds. I will never watch this again for the simple fact that I didn't know that I was claustrophobic until I watched this movie, and then ever since I have been. Cabin Fever. This is one a lot of people will know. Was this Eli Roth? This was Eli Roth before he did Hostel, I do believe. It's like a flesh-eating virus. Cabin in the Woods. Did a review of this one. Liked it. Thinking about it, didn't like it as much as I thought I did, but still good. Candyman, 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 Candyman. Ca- Not saying it again. Uh, People know what Candyman is. Fantastic movie. Cannonball Run. Now, on the flip side, I doubt very many people who watch my videos will know what this is. But this is an incredibly funny movie. And the amount of cameos in this movie is unbelievable. I mean, just from that poster alone, from left to right, you've excuse me, from left to right there, you've Adrian Barbeau, who was from The Fog and things like that. Dean Martin, one of the Rat Pack, Farrah Fawcett and Charlie's Angels, Burt Reynolds, obviously, Roger Moore, Dom DeLuise, Sammy Davis Jr., also from the Rat Pack, and Jimmy Farr right there at the end. Um, Incredibly funny movie. Cape Fear. I've said it before, and I'll say it again later in this video. When you put Martin Scorsese and Robert De Niro together, it's just magic that happens. This is my favorite Robert De Niro performance as Max Cady. It's terrifying. He's terrifying. You've basically Nick Nolte's a defense lawyer who was Max Cady's lawyer, and 15 years previous to this, he was representing him in a trial, because he was accused of raping and severely beating a young girl, and despite the fact that there was no evidence against Max Cady, there was actually evidence that proved he was, he could have got. But it's sorry, no, I messed that up. Brains turned to jelly here, but no, he did do it, but there was evidence that sort of would have made it look like he didn't do it. But Nick Nolte basically buries the evidence on him, so he gets sent down for 15 years. And while he's in prison, he starts reading, and he gets smart, and he ends up representing himself at his parole hearing, and he ends up getting paroled. And the only thing he wants to do is get revenge on Nick Nolte and his family. And it's one of the best thrillers ever made. Captain America Civil War. Great movie. Captain America the First Avenger. Captain America is probably my second favorite Avenger. Captain America the Winter Soldier. Probably the second best MCU movie. This is unbelievable. Carlito's Way. Did not like this as much as Scarface. Carry On Abroad. The Carry On movies are classics. I've only seen about 3 or 4 of them though, so Carry On Doctor, my favourite one. Absolute favourite one. This is hilarious. Carry On Loving, yeah, seen that one too. Carry On Screaming. This is actually really scary. This movie. It's obviously it's a Carry On movie. It's funny. It's a comedy, but there's a lot of scary elements in this movie too. Cars. I remember. I remember seeing this in cinemas. We were going somewhere for the day. It was me, my mum, my dad, my sister, and my granny, and we were going somewhere for the day. And the rain was pissing down. I mean, it was such a bad day. So then we turned around and we said, "Well, we'll go to the cinema instead." And my granny, it's the first and only time my granny's ever came to the cinema with us. Apologies, I'm mumbling. My lips are getting tired already. But yeah, and she came to say yes with us, and she loved it, and I loved it back then too. You have to say, but yeah, they should have stopped at one. Casino, uh, phenomenal movie, absolutely phenomenal. Still prefer Goodfellas though. Casino Royale, the best Bond movie ever made. Daniel Craig is the best Bond. End of. Casper, another classic 90s movie. Always loved this one. Casper Meets Wendy, direct to video movie. Again, one I seen as a kid. Castaway, my god, what a movie. Tom Hanks has to carry the whole movie on his back for an hour and 40 minutes, and that is no easy task. And he carries it off spectacularly. Such a good movie. Catch Me If You Can, talking to Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks and Leo DiCaprio. This is a very fun movie. Steven Spielberg. Very fun movie. You have Leo DiCaprio, he's like a con man, and Tom Hanks is an FBI agent trying to catch him. But through the movie, they sort of make this kind of bond with each other, where Tom Hanks clearly really wants to catch him, but he also doesn't want to catch him either. And on the same token, Leo DiCaprio, he wants to get caught, but he doesn't really want to get caught. That sounds complicated, but this is such a fun movie as well. Cat in the Hat. I've always liked this. What can I say? Oh, no, was that 2003? Fucking hell, I'm old. Central Intelligence. Didn't really like this one. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Again, childhood one, kind of like it. Not really though. Chicken Little. Always remember this one. Really liked it. Chicken Run. I've seen this a number of times, but I don't really remember it. Isn't that funny? Like I know for a fact I've seen it about twice, but I don't really remember it. Child's Play, the one that started the Chucky franchise. Brad Dourif is a legend. That does the voice of Chucky. Yeah, that's a great movie. Child's Play 2, arguably the best one. I prefer Bride of Chucky, but well, if we're talking Child's Play movies, this is the best Child's Play movie. Child's Play 3, where Andy goes to military school for some reason. I've always liked it. Not as much as the other two though. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. If you want to traumatize your kids, show them this movie because the child catcher will scare the living piss out of them. Yeah, this is everyone's seen Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Whether they've seen this or they've seen the stage show, either or. Christine, John Carpenter. Another movie it took me a long time to see. really liked it. I really did like it. Is it dated? Sure, it is 1983, but it's an effective horror movie. Christmas Carol, one of the many adaptations of a Christmas Carol. This is the Disney one with Jim Carrey playing Scrooge. Always liked it. Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. This was another one of those movie franchises where, well, the first one especially, whenever it came out, it was huge everywhere. And nowadays, I think they're, I don't know if I'm right or wrong about this, but I think they're remaking it or something now. I always liked the first one. Um, Cinderella, everyone knows Cinderella. City of Angels, oh, this is a nice movie too from the 90s. Nicolas Cage and Meg Ryan. Nicolas Cage is like an angel that's sent to Earth. Clash of the Titans with the human charisma vacuum, Sam Worthington. Saw this in cinemas, and that's the only time I've seen it. Oh, we're at an impasse again, guys. Click. This movie hits you with a gun punch. I'm sorry, I sound really weird, don't I? Excuse me. No, um, no. I have to say this movie really hits you with a gut punch. At a certain point, and you really don't expect it. I've always liked Click. Cliffhanger with Stallone. You can't go wrong with Stallone in any movie. Well, apart from Spy Kids 3, but we'll get there. A Clockwork Orange, Stanley Kubrick. One of the most visually stunning movies I think ever. Like the set design and the color palettes that they use in this movie, it just makes everything pop. And very disturbing performance from Malcolm McDowell as Alex in this. Clue, seen this once. Again, Tim Curry there at the bottom stood out to me in this, and I really enjoyed him in it. Cobra, seen it once, didn't like it. Cocktail, need to go back and watch this one because I barely remember anything about it. But it's early Tom Cruise, what's not to like? Cold Creek Manor, this was Dennis Quaid, Sharon Stone, I do believe, in a big house in the country and it's haunted. I remember seeing it years ago. Collateral, Michael Mann, Tom Cruise, Jamie Foxx. Tom Cruise is a hitman. Jamie Foxx is a hapless cab driver who Tom Cruise just hires to take him about for the night. Uh, this is a great movie. Collateral Damage. I believe, this was Schwarzenegger's final film he made before he went into politics, and it shows because he's not even trying. It's a very disappointing movie. The Collector. Only watched this a few nights ago. Um, I liked it, but I prefer Saw. Coming Home in the Dark. This was one I had no intention of watching because it was one of those ones where when you log on to Netflix, it tries to show it down your throat, the advertising. But I read the synopsis and I thought, well, I may as well give it a shot. So I did, and this was one of the most tense movies I've seen in years. You've basically this school teacher and his wife and their two kids. They're on a road trip and they're stopped beside this lake for a picnic, and all of a sudden these two drifters walk up to them, and that's all I'm going to say. Um, it was an extremely well made movie, and I would like to see something similar again. Coming to America, this is a classic. Everyone's seen this. Commando, such a terrible movie, but such a fucking amazing movie too at the same time. The Commitments, one of, if not the best Irish movies ever made. The commitments are a band that they form, trying to make a bit of money. That's essentially the plot. Connor, my God, there are no words in the English language to describe how much I love Connor. I could try, but we'll be here all day. You have Nicolas Cage, who's like a former, I think he's a Marine, and he ends up getting, and he's on leave, and he ends up getting discharged from the military and bind up in prison for manslaughter, um, for defending his wife, and he's getting paroled, and he ends up being put on his plane with other criminals, and the criminals end up overpowering the guards and taking the plane over, and Nicolas Cage has to save the fucking day, as he says. If anyone hasn't seen this, what are you doing with your life? The Condemned. I've always had a soft spot for this movie. Uh, this was the first movie that Stone Cold Steve Austin ever did outside of wrestling. And it's essentially the movie Survivor, but Battle Royale. But except you've got criminals, and they all have to fight to the death. Uh, Always loved this one. Coneheads, seen it once. It's a bit weird. Cool Runnings, everyone's seen this one. Classic. Cop and a Half. Does anyone remember this one? Am I the only one? Copycat. This was one of those movies that was interesting. Uh, you have Sigourney Weaver. She's like I think she's a criminal novelist. And no, sorry, no, she was a. Am I remembering this right? Sorry, no, yes, so she's a criminal novelist, but she helps the FBI out with analyzing serial killers. And one night, one of the serial killers attacks her and almost kills her. And as a result, she becomes agoraphobic. She doesn't leave the house. And you have like the killers in prison, but then there's a copycat killer that starts. And Holly Hunter plays the police detective who tries to get Sigourney Weaver to overcome the fear. I've always really liked it. Crank. This movie has no right. It has no right to be as fun as it is, but it is. Such a good time. Crank Two, same thing. Creation stories. Now, I was I was going to say I was sold a false bill of goods, but I really wasn't. I mean, what did I expect? It's about oh, I'm blanking on the guy's name now. Is it Andy White? I think it was Andy White, but he's a record producer who starts Creation Records, who would go on to sign up the likes of Oasis and Primal Scream. Um, yeah, it was okay. I really well, two reasons I want to see it. One, because it's the guy who discovered Oasis, and Oasis is my favorite band. And two, it was made by Danny Boyle. So Creed, I had no interest in seeing Creed at all because although Sylvester Stallone was in it as Rocky, I knew it wasn't about him. It was about Apollo Creed's long lost illegitimate son. And as soon as I heard that premise, I was like, well, that's never going to fucking work. And fuck, I was wrong. Uh, this was phenomenal. Creed 2, same thing. So well done. I haven't seen Creed 3 yet. Don't shoot me. Creepshow 2, the only Creepshow I've seen. Anthology movie, there's like three or four different stories, and they're all intensely creepy. Crocodile Dundee, classic 80s movie. The Crow. Oh, how do I describe my love for The Crow? Uh, Phenomenal. I'm saying that word a lot, I do realise that, but I can't think of anything else. Brandon Lee, in his unfortunately final film role, he died on the set of this. He plays Eric Draven, a rock star, and him and his fiance are Murder on Devil's Night, which is the night before Halloween. But a year afterwards, he comes back from the dead as the Crow. And if anyone watches wrestling, Sting the wrestler, that's who he took his face paint from and his trench coat from. I love the Crow. Daddy Daycare, classic. Daddy's Home, liked it. Daddy's Home 2, liked it a wee bit more. Damage, now I don't remember a lot about this at all. I think it's Steve Austin. He was like an armed robber, and he ends up killing a criminal and going to prison for it. But then when he gets out, he finds that the criminal's wife and kid, they're living in poverty basically. So he starts cage fighting to make money for them. I think that's it. I've seen it once. It was alright. Darby O'Gill and the Little People. This is a creepy fucking movie. One word, Banshee. That's all I'm saying. Daredevil gets a lot of unfair hate. I've always liked it. Oh my god. Where to even begin with this movie? Quite possibly. No, not quite possibly. This is my favorite Batman movie. Um, Again, what can you say about this movie that hasn't been said already? It's timeless, so ahead of its time. The Hans Zimmer score is iconic. Heath Ledger is just art in this movie. Yeah, great. Dark Knight Rises, not as good as Dark Knight, but I still love it. Bane is awesome character. Dawn of the Dead, the remake, the only of the Dead movie that I've seen. Liked it. It's a Zack Snyder one. Days of Thunder, Top Gun and Cars, basically. Deadpool. Oh, you have no idea how much I wanted this movie to be good, and when it was better than good, I was so happy. Uh, Ryan Reynolds was just born to play that part. Deadpool 2, I like it even more, and I can't wait for Deadpool 3. Dead Silence. Believe this was a James Wan movie who did Saw, and he's done like the Conjuring and Insidious and all that stuff. It's about uh the ghost of Mary Shaw who kills you if you open your mouth or speak. The Dead Zone. Christopher Walken gets into an accident and a coma for about 10 years, and he wakes up and he finds he has the psychic ability to see how people are going to die. Dr. Halls. Deep Blue Sea. The outside of Jaws, the only other good shark movie. Deep Rising. I rewatched this about a week ago. This is an incredibly fun time. Um, and the creatures in this are so creepy. No, 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 no. Deliverance. This was an eye opener. Makes you never want to go whitewater rafting. Put it that way. Demolition Man. I've talked about this movie before. This is a great pairing of Stallone and Snipes. Dennis the Menace, the original 90s one with Walter Matthau as Mr. Wilson, and then you have Christopher Lloyd as Switchblade Sam. This is so nostalgic for me. Dennis the Menace Strikes Again. Again, I always watched this one more as a kid, but I love them both equally. The Departed. You remember what I said earlier about Robert De Niro and Martin Scorsese, where you can't go wrong? Well, exactly the same for DiCaprio and Scorsese. Unbelievable. The Descent, such a scary movie. Descent Part 2, equally scary. Devil's Rejects, one of Rob Zombie's movies. I think this was Rob Zombie's third movie, I think. Yeah, you could. if you didn't know this is a Rob Zombie movie, you could definitely tell. Die Another Day. Everyone shits on this, but I actually really like it. Die Hard. I could go on for like 3 hours about Die Hard. How much I love it. Probably my favorite action movie ever. Die Hard 2. People shit on it. I love it. Die Hard 3. Um, right up there with the original. Oh, now you talk about worn out VHSs. I think I actually did wear the VHS on this. Back in my day, I loved Pokemon and Digimon and Power Rangers and all. Like, that's back when kids TV was kids TV. If you know what I'm saying. Um, but yeah, I've always loved the Digimon movie. Dirty Dancing. Where do you even begin with this movie? Patrick Swayze is the man, and he always will be. Dirty Harry. Um, liked it. Severely dated though. What is Line? A Disaster Artist, the movie about the making of the room. Very funny. Disaster movie. This was back when in the 2000s when you had this craze of making spoof movies. About the most popular movies that were out of the day. I don't find this as offensive as some people do, but it's not very good. Disturbia. This was, oh, excuse me. Like to all intents and purposes, this is a remake of Hitchcock's Rear Window, and I've always really enjoyed this one. You've Shia LaBeouf, who's him and his dad at the start of the movie. They're away on a fishing trip and they end up in a car accident, and the dad gets killed. And later on in the year, when the kid's back in school, the teacher makes sort of a backhanded comment about his dad, and he ends up beating the teacher half to death. So he gets put under house arrest and he can't leave, and he gets his pair of binoculars, and he begins to suspect that his new next door neighbor may be a serial killer. Django Unchained. Fucking love this movie. Tarantino. Doctor Dolittle. I always liked it. Doctor Strange. Um, Not my favorite Avenger. This movie could have been a lot better. Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. They didn't go quite full out with the multiverse thing in this movie, which they should have done, but I enjoyed it. Doctor Who the movie. This was the well up until 10 years ago. This was the only canonical time that you saw Paul McGann as the Doctor on screen. It's all right. It's not the best thing. Doctor Who, the Day of the Doctor. This was probably my favorite Doctor Who episode ever. And it is uh, it is feature length, which is I suppose is why it's on Letterboxd. But well, you know what? I do count that as a movie, to be honest with you. This is just so cool, so cool. Dodgeball. Everyone loves Dodgeball. Dog Soldiers. Neil Marshall directed. Great werewolf movie. It's probably my favorite werewolf movie. Dogtooth. This is such a weird movie. If anyone's ever seen it, I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for saying this, but I think is it a German movie? Is it I think it's German. I think I do remember them using German accents, and the German language in this movie. But it's basically these parents who have raised uh three kids. The three kids. They're all adults now, but they've basically raised them in nothing but this house and this garden that they live in, and they know nothing of the outside world, and anything they do know is what the parents have told them. So for example, they've told them that like planes are like uh they're like vultures who'll come and take them away, which is why they don't really like to go outside that much. And what else? They've told them that well, I'm not going to go into details, but basically they're only telling them what they want them to know, and they know nothing of the outside world. And it's a very interesting movie if anyone ever sees it. I always thought it was very quirky, and very well made, and very thought provoking too. Don't breathe. I've yet to see the second one. I did like this one, apart from the whole stuff with the turkey baster, but okay. Dracula dead and loving it. This is again Leslie Nielsen. You can't go wrong. I don't know why is Doctor Dolittle 2 over here. I don't know, but I always refer that one to the first one. Drop Dead Fred. Sister maybe watch this now. I love I do love Rick Mail. I think he was a genius, but I didn't like this movie at all. Doctor Strangelove, or to give it its proper title, Doctor Strangelove or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. One of the very early Stanley Kubrick movies. I remember I was doing media studies in Banbridge SRC, and the tutor put this on one day and let us watch it, and it is very, very funny. Detox. This is the first and only time Sylvester Stallone ever did a horror movie. There's like a serial killer who's basically targeting cops, and one day he breaks into Stallone's house and kills his wife, and Stallone gets depressed and tries to kill himself, and his boss ends up Stallone's like an FBI agent, and his boss ends up sending him to this outpost in the middle of nowhere, which is like a rehab for cops who've got addiction issues or suicide issues, and it's run by Chris Christopherson. And the whole crux of the thing is like the serial killer, when they finally tracked him down, he'd hung himself. But then whenever Stallone turns up to this place, people start turning up dead, and it's like in a similar manner to the serial killer, and I've always really loved this movie. DuckTales the movie, don't remember a whole lot about it. It was one when I was a kid. Dude, where's my car? I've seen it once. Need to see it again. Dudley Do Right. This was the follow up to, well, that's what you could say as the follow up to George of the Jungle. Spoiler alert: I prefer George of the Jungle. I love Brendan Fraser though. The Dukes of Hazzard. Uh, I love this movie. My mum was always a big fan of the TV show. I've never seen the TV show. But I love this movie. It's so funny, and the car stunts in it are brilliant too. Yeah. So, pardon me, wait, folks, while I take a little drink here. Throat's getting so dry. We're only on the D's. Dumb and Dumber, comedy classic. Start going a bit faster here. Dumb and Dumberer, When Harry Met Lloyd. This is stupid. Dumb and Dumber 2. They made us wait 20 years for a sequel, and this was the best we got. For a shame. Dunstan Checks In. Again, one I watched when I was a kid. Don't know much about it, except there's a monkey loose in a hotel. The Edge. Now, this was a class movie. Anthony Hopkins and Alec Baldwin have to fight off a big bear. Oh, Edward Scissorhands, how I love thee. Tim Burton movie again. This is a beautiful movie. I've always loved it. It's a love story, but a very unconventional love story. And Danny Elfman's score in this is perfect. El Camino, a Breaking Bad movie. I love Breaking Bad. I'd never seen El Camino up until a few months ago, and while it was very unnecessary to have this, I'm glad we did, because at least now we know that Jesse got away at the end, which I think we all wanted. Elf. I really don't like this movie, guys. I know that's against the grain for some people, but I really, really, really don't. I think it's overrated as all hell. The funniest part of the movie is James Caan for me, playing the straight man. Excuse me. That's probably funnier than Elf too. You know, the Star Wars movies are all jumbled up here. The Empire Strikes Back, probably the best one out of the whole franchise. Epic movie. Again, like the disaster movie, it's okay. It's not as good as Scary Movie or anything, but it's funny, like I suppose. Equalizer, Denzel is the man. Equalizer 2, Denzel is the man again. Eraser. Um, 90s Arnold Schwarzenegger wasn't nearly as good as 80s Arnold Schwarzenegger. Just putting that out there. Escape Plan, Stallone and Arnie in a movie together where it wasn't cameos. Uh, really enjoyed this one. Have not seen the sequels, and I don't plan to. Euro Trip, fuck. Some people say this is a rip-off of American Pie, but it's not really. Um, I think this movie's hilarious. Evan Almighty, not as good as Bruce Almighty, but Steve Carell is still funny as all hell in it. The Exorcist. I was I was probably too old when I saw this for the first time, and obviously well, people I'd say yourselves, these days we're very desensitized to things, so it didn't really affect me too much. But it still is it's a classic movie, absolute classic. Exorcist 3. Now this is an interesting story. I watched this the other night for the first time, and I've always wanted to watch it. But I think the version that I watched was a weird chopped up version because I know there's the theatrical version and then there's Legion, which is the director's cut. But I think the cut that I watched was it had been spliced together because there was because there were scenes that would have just turned into like it was clearly like a rip from a VHS, and it was weird, and it ended really weirdly too. So technically, I don't think I've seen the proper movie, but I have seen the key scenes from it. So that counts. Oh, and an impasse again, folks. I'm only on the E's. Wonder will I get this done before 4 o'clock? We'll soon see. The Expendables. This franchise should have been better than it was. Expendables 2, Expendables 3. Haven't seen the fourth one and I don't plan to. Eyes Wide Shut, Stanley Kubrick's last movie and probably his weirdest movie. Um, yeah, it's very, very weird. That's all I'm saying. And involves orgies at big stately homes and all. And it's yeah. Face Off. Oh, I could say everything about Face Off. All I'm saying is, if you haven't seen it, it's overacting John Travolta acting like overactor Nicolas Cage and vice versa. Um, Fuck, it is such a good time. Falling down, Michael Douglas just snaps one day and goes on a rampage, and I think we can all say that we've had a bad day like that sometimes. Well, maybe not the extent of that, but we've all been in that stressful situation. The Fanatic, oh boy. Tell you what, folks, if you want a movie to watch with your mates and have a drink and get drunk and watch it and laugh the piss out of it, watch this here. John Travolta, I don't know what he was thinking when he made this movie, but I just don't know. Fantastic Four. I've always loved Fantastic Four. The Tim Story ones. Um, Got a lot of hate. I like them. Rise of the Silver Surfer. Again, I like it. Far and away. Tom Cruise. And Nicole Kidman can't do Irish accents. Then again, there's very few can do Irish accents. Oh, don't you know it's Fargo? Again, I like this, but not as much as other people. Fatal Attraction. If any of you men out there are in a relationship and thinking of cheating, I would advise you to watch this first. Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Do you see if I'd seen this movie when I was younger, I would have had so much more days off school. That's all I'm saying. A few good men. This movie all hinges on the final courtroom scene. If it didn't have that, it wouldn't be as good. That's all I'm saying. Feel the Dreams. I don't even like baseball, but God, this movie makes me cry like a bitch. Fifth Element. Weird movie, but really entertaining. Um, if for no one else, for Chris Tucker, so funny. 50 Day Man Walking, another Northern Ireland movie. About um, let me think now. I think that guy there on the cupboard, he on the cover. He infiltrates the IRA for MI5. Like he's just like a normal guy on the street, and I think he's actually from a he's from a he's from a Catholic family, and he gets MI5 gets him to go undercover in the IRA. It's pretty good. Final Destination. My advice to you: don't watch this before you go on a plane. Out of sequence again. The Final Destination, but it wasn't the final one. Final Destination 2, probably the best one. 3, still good. And 5 ends up being a prequel of the first one, fully enough. Finding Nemo, classic Pixar. Rambo First Blood. I love the Rambo movies, all of them. 5 Minutes of Heaven. This is a very well done one. You have Liam Neeson playing Alistair Little, who was a UVF member. I think he was the commander actually from. He was actually from Lurgan, where I'm from, and James Nesbitt was he plays the brother of a Catholic man who gets caught in the crossfire one night. It's a case of mistaken identity. And what I love about this movie is the start of it was actually filmed in Lurgan, so it's a place that I grew up, and I recognised all the streets and all, and I'm so surreal. But yeah, if you haven't seen this one, give it a watch. It's really good. The Flintstones classic, Flintstones Viva Rock Vegas. Again, I watched this one more growing up. I don't know why, but I did. Flipper. I do. I know I've seen this, but I don't remember it at all. Flubber, like I mentioned earlier on, I love Flubber. Robin Williams again. Is there anything? I don't ever think he made a bad film. Flushed Away. This is so underrated. This wee movie. It's so funny. Um, Flushed Away. You have like an all-star cast. You have like Hugh Jackman, Kate Winslet, Ian McKellen. Yeah, it's a fun little movie. The Fly, David Cronenberg's The Fly. Fuck, this movie is immense. The body horror and the practical effects are you have to see them to believe them. It's so disgusting too. It's really gross, but it's so cool. The Fly 2, um, really not as good as the first one, but I still enjoy it. And a funny thing as well, Eric Stoltz is in the main character. He plays Jeff Goldblum's son from the first one, and his name in his his character name in this is Martin, and spoiler alert, he ends up turning into a fly as well. So he ends up being Martin the Fly, Marty the Fly. And if anyone doesn't know, Eric Stoltz was meant to play Marty McFly in Back to the Future before Michael J. Fox got the part. So I always think that's a funny joke. I don't even think that's an intentional joke either. I think it's a coincidence. But yeah, I'm a nerd. What can I say? The Fog, one of the most atmospheric horror movies ever from John Carpenter. I think this was the movie he made right after Halloween, I do believe. Obviously he had Jamie Lee Curtis back in it. The score of this movie is so creepy. Just go and listen to the score of it. And the story is amazing too. I won't even try to explain it. It's very complicated to explain, but easy to follow. Football Factory. I didn't like it as much as Green Street. That's all I'm saying. Footloose. And again another classic '80s movie. Kevin Bacon. And if you were a movie in the '80s and your soundtrack didn't have a Kenny Loggins song, you were doing things wrong. The Foreigner. This is Jackie Chan versus not Jerry Adams, played by Pierce Brosnan. Yeah, he's not Jerry Adams, despite the fact that he's the leader of the Sinn Féin, alleged, hmm, alleged, I suppose, member of the IRA, and he has a beard and glasses, but he's not Jerry Adams. Hmm. Forrest Gump, can say nothing more about this movie apart from the fact that it's perfect. Four Weddings and a Funeral. This is such a good wee movie too. Fox and the Hound, heartbreaking. One of the most heartbreaking scenes ever. Whenever the old widow she has to leave Todd, the wee fox, in the forest on his own to save him. Oh, Frailty. My God, this is such a good movie. This is one that not a lot of people have heard of, or if you're like me, you have heard of it, but you can't remember what the name of it was because I remember seeing this on TV years ago, and I really liked it, and I didn't know what they called it. But it's Frailty. Directed by Bill Paxton and starring Bill Paxton. It's basically Bill Paxton plays a guy. He's like a widowed father of two sons who comes home from work one day, and he wakes his sons up in the middle of the night saying that God came to him in a vision and said they had to kill demons. Um, that's like well, technically that's the flashback story. That's not the main story, but that's the long and short of it. If you haven't seen this movie, see it. This again. I had to get a move on here because it's taken forever. I thought it would. Freaks, the oldest movie that I've ever seen, and very disturbing movie. This is directed by a man called Todd Browning, and this was the first and only movie he ever directed because this movie ruined his career. Because audiences in 1932 were not ready for a movie like this. It's basically set in like a freak show at a circus. And it's very creepy. Freaky Friday. The wee sister loved this movie. I suppose I did too, begrudgingly, but yeah, entertaining. Fred Claus. Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare. Spoiler alert, he's not. Freddy versus Jason, such a good crossover. Can't believe they never did a sequel to it. Well, we'll never get one now anyway. Free Guy, overrated as fuck. Free Willy, classic. Friday the 13th, hate it. Friday the 13th, the remake, love it. So shit. I've always wondered why is it like on that poster it says a new beginning. It doesn't look like an A. It looks like it's like an arrow pointing up. I don't know. I don't know. It's shit. Friday the 13th Part 2. It's okay. Part 3 getting better. Jason Takes Manhattan. So bad it's good. The New Blood. Jason versus Carrie. Part 6 probably the best one. Final chapter. Spoiler alert. It wasn't. Now, this is a documentary, but it was feature length. So, Friends a reunion. I thought this was great. I love Friends, and seeing them getting all the cast back together was really something, and it was really emotional. Welcome to Fright Night, classic '80s vampire movie with Chris Sarandon playing Jerry Dandridge, and Roddy McDowall playing like a Van Helsing type. This is so good. From dusk till dawn, this movie shocked the hell out of me. I did not expect it to enjoy it as much as I did. But this is like a Quentin Tarantino movie for like the first half of the movie, and then after it, it just goes fucking balls to the wall with like vampires and shit. So good. The Fugitive, one of my favorite Harrison Ford movies. Full Metal Jacket, the first half is better than the second half. The Full Monty, great British movie. The TV series, not so much. Funny People, don't remember anything about this. Gangs of New York, the one Scorsese movie I don't like. Garfield the movie, Gentleman, need to watch it again. George of the Jungle, my God, if you only knew my love for this movie. My favorite Disney movie, bar none. No one ever talks about this, and it's a shame because it's so fucking funny, and it just makes me so nostalgic because I've always loved this movie, and it's like the comedy, like like the narrator actually interacting with the characters, breaking the fourth wall and all. It's so funny. If no one's seen this, what are you doing? Go and watch it. George is Jungle too because they were too cheap to get Brendan Fraser back. Yeah, I think like the only person that got back was like Thomas Hayden Church. That's about it. Get Carter. This was a mate in work recommended this to me. Fuck, this was so good. So seedy. It's like a proper seedy 70s movie, and Michael Caine's badass in it. Get Hard. Oh. Get Out. Oh. Um. Sorry it took me a few years to watch this, but this is creepy. Girls Today trying basically 8 Mile, but for 50 cent. Get Smart. This is Threat Level Midnight, the movie. That's all I'm saying. Threat Level Midnight, the movie. Getting Even with Dad. This isn't very good. G-Force. The only movie that I've ever walked out of the cinema on, and it was fucking G-Force. Oh, that movie was horrible. Ghost. My God. Again, what else can we say about this movie? It's beautiful. It's funny. It's heartbreaking. It's just iconic. Ghostbusters. I ain't a really been a Ghostbusters fan, guys. I'm gonna be honest with you. G.I. Joe: The Rise of Cobra. I really like it. Gladiator. Again, I'm not as infatuated with it as a lot of people are. Although I do absolutely agree. It's a fucking awesome movie, but people below this movie, and I'm not one of them. The Gnome-mobile. Yeah, I've seen that. Last one we're stopping, right? The Godfather. I only seen this at the start of the year. I know, put the pitchforks away. But it's absolutely stellar movie. I mean, you've Marlon Brando, you've Al Pacino, Robert Duvall, James Caan. Uh, just fucking amazing. And I mean, I love all my mob stuff. And yeah, I this is a classic. Godfather Part Two. I'm gonna be honest, I like the first one better. Even though the Godfather Part Two, but like I absolutely agree. It's it's just as good as the original. I prefer the original. That's just me. Golden Compass, watched it in school. Can't remember it. GoldenEye, probably my second favorite Bond movie. Gone Girl, David Fincher. Seen it once, years ago. I think when it came out. I need to watch it again. Gone in 60 Seconds. Didn't like it. Goodfellas. Best gangster movie ever made. Love The Godfather, but this is the best gangster movie ever made. Goodfellas. Ray Liotta, Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci, Martin Scorsese. Do you need to say more? Good morning, Vietnam. Robin, rest in peace, man. Goofy movie, classic little movie. The Goonies, classic. Gran Torino, Grease, only musical I really love. Green Mile, love it. Green Street, as I said, not the best movie, but it's still good. Green Street 2, complete dog shit. I haven't seen the third one. Grief Flies Bobby. This is a sorry movie, but I love it. Grimsby. Stupid movie, but I fucking love it. Groundhog Day. Don't love it as much as other people. Grown Ups. Mm. Grown Ups too. Mm. Couldn't even be bothered to change the poster up that much. Guardians of the Galaxy. Love all three of these movies. Gulliver's Travels. Halloween, my favorite one. Rob Zombie's Halloween, a great remake. Halloween 2018. I was so hyped for this movie when it came out. And I did like it, but it doesn't hold up in rewatches. Halloween 4, the second favorite. Halloween 5, yeah. Halloween Ends. I will never watch this one again. Never, never, never watch that one again. It was dog shit. H2O, always liked it. Halloween 2. Good thing about Halloween 2 is you can watch it back to back with the first one because it takes place on the same night. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, trippy as shit. Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. I tried to watch this with an open mind. I really did. I hate it. Halloween Kills. I always thought this was the worst Halloween movie until Halloween Ends came out. And Halloween Kills is alright. Halloween Resurrection. Trick or treat, motherfucker. Halloween Curse of Michael Myers. Again, shit. Hand That Rocks the Cradle. Great thriller. Rebecca De Mornay. Hangover. Hangover 2. Jump with the gun there. Hangover 2, Hangover 3. Hangover 3 is dog shit. Healer 2 is really good. Hannibal. I've always really liked Hannibal. Hannibal Rising. Nope. Happy Gilmore. Classic Adam Sandler. Harry Potter, Return to Hogwarts. Oh, this movie made me cry like a bitch. There's documentary has to say, it made me cry like a bitch. That was my childhood right there. So out of order here, Chamber of Secrets, Deadly Hallows Part 1, Part 2, Goblet of Fire, Hot Blood Prince, Order of the Phoenix, Philosopher's Stone, Prisoner of Azkaban. I love every single one of those movies. Even Deadly Hallows Part 1. So Hatchet, great throwback horror movie. Hatchet 2, Hatchet 3, Hot and Garden Job, waste of a fucking movie, that was so shit. Haunted Mansion, which has been remade already. Heat, fucking, classic. The Heat, surprisingly funny. Right, out of order, Hellraiser 2, Hellbound. Um, don't watch these movies on a full stomach. I'll say how much they're quite kind of gory and disgusting. And Hellboy, Hellraiser, Herbie Fully Loaded, arguably more horrifying than Hellraiser. Herbie Goes Bananas, Hereditary, such a good horror movie. Hide and Seek, Robert De Niro in a horror movie. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. Please don't judge me. Hills of Eyes remake. Oh, jeez. That's a real uncomfortable. That one's even worse. The Hitcher, the remake with Sean Bean. Hocus Pocus. Again, I don't love it as much as other people. Hollow Man with Kevin Bacon. It's good enough. Home Alone. What do you need to say about Home Alone? Christmas classic. Home Alone 2. Love it. Gets a lot of shit. I think it's quite good. But this one deserves everything it gets. Honest Thief. There you are. Taken 14. Honey, I Blew Up the Kid. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Entertaining movies. Hook. Oh, love this one too. Steven Spielberg. Hop. I was young. Horton Hears a What. Hostage with Bruce Willis. Really good action movie. Hostel. These movies are why I'm iffy about going backpacking. Hot Fuzz, Cornetto trilogy, probably my favourite one. Hot Shots Part 2, great spook movies. Hot Tub Time Machine, I really fucking liked Hot Tub Time Machine. House of Wax, underrated horror movie. The Howling, class, class werewolf movie. The Grinch, Jim Carrey, again, Christmas classic. Hulk, I'm going to do a movie, well, a movie review and a defense video about this. People shit in this movie, and I don't know why. I've always loved it. It's probably my favorite version of the Hulk, apart from the TV series in the 70s. Oh, I just love it. I'm sick of people shitting on it. Oh, here we go. Human Centipede 1, 2, and 3. Before you ask, no, I'm not proud of myself. Human Traffic, I didn't get this movie at all. Just didn't understand it. Hunger, another controversial one. Directed by Steve McQueen, starring Michael Fassbender as Bobby Sands and The Maze. They're in the hunger strike and the dirty protest. And listen, I'm on one side of the house, so I'm gonna have my opinion about it. If you're on the other side, you'll probably view this as a martyr story. I don't. That being said, it's extremely well made. Ice Age. I know we did last summer. Apparently, we're getting a new modern sequel to it. Apparently, In-Betweeners and In-Betweeners 2. My God, I love those four bikes. In Bruges, totally unexpected movie. I didn't think I would like it as much as I did. Inception, overrated, I think. The Incredibles, love it. Incredibles 2 took way too long to come out. 14 years. Independence Day, class sci-fi movie. Indiana Jones. So, where's the where's the first one? Or is it the Raiders of the Lost Ark? Anyway, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I'm starting to lose my mind here, guys. Sorry if I'm mumbling. Indiana Jones and the Lost Crusade. This is up there for me with Raiders as the best. Temple of Doom. I do love Temple of Doom though. Glorious Bastards. Need to watch it again. Spectre Gadget. I don't remember this. In the Name of the Father. Such a great movie. And Daniel Day-Lewis nails our accent. Iron Man, the one that started the MCU. Iron Man 2. Iron Man 3. I'm not enamored with it either. People seem to be. I'm not. The Island at the Top of the World. Now, this is one of those ones where I watched when I was younger. This is actually really cool. You've like this rich aristocrat, and his son's like an explorer, and him and his party end up going missing. And the last place they said they were going was up to the Antarctic. So he hires like a navigator and an archaeologist to go with him, and they end up coming across this like lost civilization of Vikings, out in the frozen wastelands, and I've always thought this was very interesting. I still know you had Lost Summer. I've always liked it. It 2017. What a good adaptation. The 1991 is iconic to me. It Chapter 2 was a big pile of dog shit. It Follows, a great horror movie. Jack, poor Jack. Jackass 2.5, Jackass 3.5, Jackass movies, everyone's seen them. Bad Grandpa, funny. Jack Frost, is a hard one to watch, although, listen, thank God my dad's still alive, like, but it's a hard one to watch nonetheless if you love your dad, like, you know. James and the Giant Peach is what it is. Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday. Didn't like us at all. Jaws, I could another movie I could go on for hours about it. What else can you say about it? I was once, I was as I said, I was in a Banbridge SRC, and we had to do like a presentation on a certain movie and talk about all the aspects of it, like the filmmaking and stuff. And I did like I think it was like a 70 slide PowerPoint on it, presentation, and the tutor said it's the best one he's ever seen, and he's been doing it. At that point, he'd been doing it for about 40 years. So don't know what that says about me, but anyway, Jaws 2, still like it. Jaws 3D, oh dear. And Jaws Revenge, well, at least Michael Caine got paid. My throat's getting really sore here, guys. I'm sorry. Um, Jeepers Creepers, one of the creepiest movies I've ever seen. Jeepers Creepers 2, not as creepy. Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius, one, childhood one. Put that cookie down now. Classic. Arnie. Johnny English. I've always loved Johnny English. Johnny English Reborn, Johnny English Strikes Again. And I'm amazed they made three of those. Now we're getting to the big guns. John Wick, John Wick 2, John Wick 3 Parabellum, and John Wick Chapter 4. All four of them unbelievable, insane action movies. Joker. I don't think it was a surprise to anyone that this was amazing when it came out. Joaquin Phoenix made the character his own. The Journey. This is a big pile of dog shit. So you've Timothy Spall up the top playing Ian Paisley, and you've Colin Meaney down the bottom playing Martin McGuinness. Um, it's just a load of shit. Joyride, very entertaining horror movie. Jumanji, Robin Williams again, classic. Jumanji the Next Level, Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle, not as good. The Jungle Book, 67, classic animation. Oh god, no, we don't talk about that one. Shit. Oh guys, like you have to forgive me here. Oh my god, I've made a big boob. Shit. Oh, I do apologize, guys. Hold on. Can we save this before it goes any further? Yes, we can. Thank God. Oh, I do apologize. Jurassic Park, one of my favorite movies ever. Jurassic Park 3. Jurassic World, shit. Justice League, pure shit. The Karate Kid, Oh, I love it movie so much. I love Cobra Kai, Karate Kid 2, Karate Kid 3. This is often tied for my best movie, my favorite movie of all time. It's so shit, but it's so good. If you've seen it, you know what I mean. Kill Bill Volume 1 and Volume 2, love them. Kindergarten Cop, favorite Arnie comedy. King Ralph, seen it once, can't remember it. Kingsman: The Secret Service, seen it once. King's Speech, phenomenal. Lake Placid, Jaws with the crocodile. Long Before Time, oh. Lost Action Hero, underrated, ahead of its time. Lost House on the Left, good. Lost of the Mohicans, amazing. Last Stand, Arnie came back to Hollywood. Layer Kick, can't remember it. Leaving Las Vegas, Nicolas Cage got the Oscar and it's probably his best performance. Legend, Tom Hardy plays the Craze. Legend of Tarzan, Alexander Skarsgård. I liked it. Lego Movie, yeah. Lethal Weapon, Lethal Weapon 2, the best one. Lethal Weapon 3, I've not seen 4. Now, this is an important one to me. Liam Gallagher, Nebworth 22 documentary. Liam Gallagher played Nebworth last year in June for 2 nights, and me and my best mate, we were there on the first night, and it's the best day of my life so far. Yeah. Liar Liar, arguably the best Jim Carrey comedy. Monty Python's Life of Brian, I love that so much. Lilo and Stitch, it's a good wee Disney movie. Pixar, sorry, they're Disney. Lion King, favorite animated Disney movie. Lion King 1.5. I don't know why this exists. Little Fockers, yeah. Little Mermaid, Little Mermaid 2, Return to the Sea. Little Nicky, Little Rascals, Little Vampire, Live Free or Die Hard. Why is that down here? Loch Ness, again another 90s one. Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels. Lock Up, underrated Stallone movie. Logan, oh, the feels for this movie. So fucking good. Longest Yard, Looney Tunes Back in Action. Now, Lord of the Rings trilogy. These were the last 3 movies that I watched to make it up to 1,000. And why did it take me so long to watch these movies? They were so epic. So, Fellowship of the Ring, Two Towers, and Return of the King. Long fucking movies, like long fucking movies, but so well done, so well made, and just epic. Lost Boys, this is my favorite vampire movie of all time. Uh, it's just like the soundtrack and the performances, like Kiefer Sutherland, Jason Patric. Love it. Jurassic Park: The Lost World, haven't seen it in years. Love Actually, watched this last Christmas for the first time. Really enjoyed it. Love Bug, another Herbie movie. I was obsessed with Herbie apparently. Madagascar, yeah, it's alright. Man on the Iron Mask, haven't seen it in years. I do remember liking it. Man of Steel, it was good, but it's no Christopher Reeve. Oh, I'm gonna have a sore throat by the end of this. Oh, the money winners of Winnie the Pooh, yeah, yeah. The Marine, decent action flick. John Cena's first acting role. Robert Patrick's the bad guy. He played the T-1000 in Terminator 2. Pretty good. Mary Poppins. It's a classic. Mask, the Rocky Dennis story with Cher and Sam Elliott. Really good movie. The Mask, classic Jim Carrey. Mask of Zorro, need to see it again. Matilda, childhood classic. The Matrix, wasn't fond of it. Oh, we're 15%. Is it going to be good? 15%. I liked it, but I wasn't fond of it. Meet the Fockers, love it. Meet the Parents, alright. Meet the Robinsons, forgettable. The Meg should have been better than it was. Me, Myself, and Irene. Funny movie. Men in Black, classic. Men in Black 2, not as classic. The Menu, my god, this was an entertaining movie. So bizarre, but really entertaining. Michael Collins, alright. Oh, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie, this was my childhood. Ivan Ooze, all I'm saying. Mike Bassett, England manager. Brilliant film. $1 Million Baby, oh, heartbreaking. Million Ways to Die in the West. Family Guy in live action, basically. The Miracle Maker. This was the story of Jesus, obviously, and like I think it was, what do you call it? Was it claymation? I think. Misery. Oh, what a movie. Mission Impossible. All Out of Order, obviously. Mission Impossible Fallout. Ghost Protocol. Mission Impossible 2, 3. Rogue Nation. Is that the- I haven't seen the seventh one yet. Monsters Inc. Childhood classic. Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Not as good as The Life of Brian. Men in a Life. Not as good as The Holy Grail. Mouse Hunt. This is a quirky, funny slapstick comedy movie. Mr. Bean's Holiday. Again, if you like Mr. Bean, you like this. Mr. Deeds did not like this. Oh, I love this movie to death. So much. So much I can't even talk about it. And I'll admit, it does sting to watch it nowadays with what happened to Robin Williams, but I hope he's in a better place now, I really do. The Mummy with Brendan Fraser, classic. My Cousin Vinny, very entertaining. Oh, the Naked Gun movies. Some of my favourite comedy movies ever. Annie McPhee. Yep, classic. National Lampoon. Sorry, I got to start there, guys. Sorry. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. It was alright. National Lampoon's Loaded Weapon 1. Funny as hell. National Lampoon's Vacation. Yeah, I liked it. Near Dark. Catherine Bigelow directed this, who did Point Break. And this is badass. Nell. This is a very interesting movie. You have Jodie Foster, who basically she doesn't even speak English for the whole movie. It's like a wee made up language, but she's basically this like girl that was raised in a cabin in the mountains, but by her mother. And you have Liam Neeson and Natasha Richardson. They're the two doctors who try to get her back to normal life, and it's very touching movie. Wes Craven's New Nightmare. Love this one. Nightcrawler. I've tried 4 times to watch this and can't get through it. Sorry. The Nightingale. Very tough watch. Nightmare on Elm Street. One of my favourites. The remake. Not one of my favourites. Dream Warriors. Probably the best one. Dream Master. Not bad either. Freddy's Revenge. Underrated. The Dream Child. Not as bad as people say it is. 1984. Very relevant nowadays. Nobody should have been better than it was. No Country for Old Men. The ending sucked. Non-stop. Taken on a plane. Norbit was what it was. No Time to Die. First time I've ever been to the cinema on my own to watch a movie. It's very therapeutic. Um, Thought this was a great ending for Daniel Craig as Bond. Villain should have been better. And I thought the ending was very cheesy. Nutty Professor, fuck, I love that movie. We're gonna be getting near the end here, folks. I hope so. Anyway, I ain't getting tired of shit to do. If I don't do it now, I'll never do it. Nutty Professor 2, The Clumps, still as good. Nymphomania Volume 1 and Volume 2, Lars von Trier. Um, this has a lot to say about sex. I'll just say that much. It's very tough watching. Oasis, Nelbert, 1986, the documentary film about when Oasis played it in 96, so quite naturally I had to watch it. Officer and the Gentleman, classic movie. Old school, didn't like it as much as people said I would. Oliver Twist, the 1948 version. I remember I had this on DVD and it was black and white. Everyone knows Oliver Twist. Oma, another one, another film about the Harvey country, and it's bad history. Seemingly Tarantino's penultimate film. I love this. The set design and the period and all setting is so cool. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Um, Great film. 1 Hour Photo. Robin Williams at his creepiest. 101 Dalmatians, the original. The original animated version. The other guys didn't like it as much as I thought. Over the Hedge, don't remember it. Over the Top. Winner Takes It All, Loser Takes the Fall. Pacific Heights, not what I thought it was going to be. Very disappointing. The Pacifier. Family. Paddington 2, but not Paddington 1. The Parent Trap. Again, the wee sister watched this. I need to watch it with her. Passenger 57, Always Bat in Black. Patriot Games, the only Jack Ryan movie I've ever seen on its class. Pearl, uh, such a surprise of a movie and so fucking good. Peter Pan, the 2003 version, love it. Peter Pan, the original version. Pet Sematary, one of my favourite horror movies. Philadelphia, such a great movie. Phone Booth, if you haven't seen this, see it. A great thriller. Pinocchio, the original, very dark. Piranha 3 Double D, lol. Pirates of the Caribbean movies. I've only seen 1, 2, 3, and 5. I haven't seen the fourth one. Pixels. Planes, Trains, Automobiles. Took me years to see this too. Platoon. Alright. Pocahontas. Good. Point Break. One of my favourite action movies of all time. The Pokemon movies. And just as up there, we have to go back to the start. Right, so Pokemon, the first movie, very pivotal movie for me. This is the earliest one I can remember. Pokemon the movie 2000, the one with Lugia. Uh, Pokemon the movie 3, this is brilliant. Pokemon Forever, I don't remember this one at all. And Detective Pikachu, I absolutely loved it in the cinema. Mewtwo Returns, this is one of those ones I don't think it's even canon. Well, none of the movies are canon, I suppose. Polar Express, don't remember it. Police Academy, Poltergeist, Poltergeist 2, Popeye, Predator, love Predator, Predator 2, Pretty in Pink, Pretty Woman, Prince of Egypt, Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time, don't remember it. Prince of Tides, this is a great movie if you haven't seen it. Prisoners, my god. Denis Villeneuve, I think that's one of his films. Hugh Jackman is masterful. A Proposal, Psycho, classic. Psycho 2, don't remember it. Pulp Fiction, one of my favourites. Pumping Iron, such a good documentary. Pumpkinhead, good horror movie. Quantum of Solace, The Queen, great. There's Raiders, I love Raiders. Raymond, Dustin Hoffman, sensational. Rambo, probably my favourite one. Rambo Part 2, Rambo 3, Rambo Last Blood, went with my dad to see it in the cinema. Ransom, Give Me Back My Son. Ratatouille, Ravenous. This is a crazy fucking horror movie. Ready Player One should have been better than it was. Reanimator, this is a crazy fucking horror movie. Red Dragon, Red Heat, Reservoir Dogs. Restless Natives. No one's heard of this movie, but the main reason I like it is because the soundtrack was done entirely by Stuart Adamson and Big Country. So they're one of my favourite bands. The Return of Jafar, another direct-to-video sequel. Return of the Jedi, classic. Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation. Oh boy. Return to Neverland, another direct-to-video sequel. Richie Rich. The Ringer. Rise of the Foot Soldier. Rise of the Foot Soldier 3. Rise of the Foot Soldier 2. Rescue Business, early Tom Cruise. Roadhouse. Oh my god, I love that movie. Road to El Dorado, remember very little. Road Trip, not as good as Euro Trip. Robin Hood, the original. Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, Bryan Adams. Robocop, Rob Roy, not as good as Braveheart. The Rock, Rocky, Rocky Balboa, Rocky 2, Rocky 3, Rocky 4, Rocky 5. The Room, Oh Hi Doggy. Rugrats in Paris, Running Man, Rush Hour, Rush Hour 2, Rush Hour 3, RV, Santa Claus, Santa Claus 2, Santa Claus 3, The Escape Clause, Sausage Party. Went to see us with my wee sister. That was entertaining. Saving Private Ryan, my favourite war movie ever. Saw, just watched this the other night again for the first time in years. Saw 3D, Saw 2, Impulse again. Saw 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Scarface. Amazing gangster movie. Scary Movie 2, 3, and 4. Schindler's List. What a heartbreaking movie. School of Rock. Classic. Scooby Doo. I love these movies to bits. Scooby Doo 2. Don't remember this one as much. Scooby Doo and the Alien Invaders. Scooby Doo and the Cyber Chase. Again, wore the VHS out. Scooby Doo and the Good School. Same thing. Scooby Doo and the Witch's Ghost. Same thing. Scooby Doo and the Boo Brothers. Zombie Island. That is scary as fuck, that one. Scream. I love Scream. Scream 5, or 5 Cream as I call it. Scream 2. Scream 3. Scream, Scream 4. And Scream V. Scream 6. 7. Oh, such a movie. The Secret Garden. Childhood one. Seed of Chucky. Ugh. See No Evil, Hear No Evil. Classic comedy with Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor. Shaggy Dog. Seen it once. Shallow Grave. Danny Boyle's first film, if I'm not mistaken. Shark Tale. Finding Nemo, basically. Shaun of the Dead. Love it. Shawshank. Used to be my favourite movie. It's still right up near the top though. Shazam. Shit. Shiloh. This is one that no one's ever heard of. This one. It's a cute wee movie. The Shining. Stanley Kubrick. Ultimate horror classic. Showgirls. Does what it says in the tin. Shrek. Gotta love Shrek. Shrek 2. Gotta go faster here, guys. I'm running out of battery. Shrek Forever After, and Shrek the Third. Shutter Island. Is this Scorsese? Yes, I think it was. Great movie. Silence of the Lambs, one of my favourite movies ever. Simpsons movie, saw it 5 times in the cinema. Sixth Sense, M. Night Shyamalan, Ding Dong. Skyfall, I love Skyfall. Sky High, Forgetful. Sleepers, dark as hell. Sleeping with the Enemy. This is a great thriller if no one's ever seen this. It's about Julia Roberts living with a husband who's really abusive, and she fakes her death to leave him. Sleepy Hollow, scary. Small Soldiers, childhood classic. Smokey and the Bandit, some of my favourite movies, 2 and 3. Um, Comedy classics. Snake Eyes, don't remember much about it. Snatch, Guy Ritchie movie. Snow Dogs, forget about it. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Song of the South. You'll never hear Disney ever talk about this movie ever again. Ever again. Despite the fact that it was the inspiration for Splash Mountain at Disney World. See, it deals with plantations and slaves, but they don't talk about that. Son of Rambo, quirky wee movie. Son of the Mask. Ugh. South Park, bigger, longer, and uncut. You gotta love South Park. Spectre, second worst Daniel Craig movie. Speed, you gotta love Speed. Spencer Confidential, waste of a time. Sam Raimi's original Spider-Man. This movie has my heart. Spider-Man 2, likewise. I even love the third one. Shoot me. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Loved it. Far From Home, loved it. Homecoming, such a surprise. Into the Spider-Verse, did not expect to like it as much as it did. Spider-Man No Way Home. My childhood was made by this movie. Even though I was 25 when I saw it. Spike Island, my god. If you're an Oasis fan and a Stone Roses fan, you haven't seen this, you should watch it. It's about four young mates who are in a band themselves and they love the Stone Roses, and they decide to try and give their demo tape to the band themselves at the Spike Island gig, and is what they go through to get there. I love it. Split, James McAvoy steals it. Spy Hard. Spy Kids, Spy Kids 2, Spy Kids 3. Gross. Spy Who Loved Me. This movie terrified me as a kid because of Jaws. Stand By Me. One of the most emotional movies you'll ever watch. I love it. Stan Helsing. Stardust. I love this movie. Love this movie. It's so magical. Original Star Wars. Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. To me, that's the best Star Wars movie right there. Episode 1, I love it. Phantom Menace. Force Awakens, had so much promise. Last Jedi, oh dear. And somehow Palpatine returned. Step Brothers. What can you say about Step Brothers? Fucking Catalina Wine Mixer. Stepfather, the remake. This is very cool. Stone Roses made of stone. This is about Stone Roses getting back together after 10 years, or was it, no, sorry, 20 years. Yeah. Straight to Compton, class. Out of the, about the NWA. The Strangers, scary as hell. Stuart Little, love it. Stuart Little 2, love it too. Suicide Squad, loved it the first time I watched it, and ever since is shit. The Suicide Squad, far better. Superbad. Supergirl, oh dear. Superhero movie, this is so funny. Superman the movie, my favourite superhero movie of all time. Me and my dad love all these movies. Superman 2, Superman 3, Superman 4, well, apart from that one. Superman Returns, I even love this one. Sweeney Todd, this is a great. Swiss Family Robinson, this is a good wee classic. T2 Trainspotting, unnecessary sequel, but still great. Taken, Taken 2, Taken 3, Tales from the Crypt, Talladega Nights, Tango and Cash, Tarzan, Taxi Driver, Team America. Gotta go quicker. Ted 2, Teen Wolf, Tenacious D, Terminal, Terminator, Terminator 2, 3, Salvation and Genesis, Terrifier 2, I haven't seen the first one, Texas Chainsaw 3D, shit. New Texas Chainsaw Massacre, shit. Original one, classic. Remake, awesome. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, alright. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the beginning, I like it. Thelma and Louise, Something About Mary, There Will Be Blood, The Thing, Thinner, This is England 90, This is the End, Thomas and the Magic Railroad, Don't Judge Me, I Was Very Young, Thor, Thor Ragnarok, Thor the Dark World, Three Amigos, A Time to Kill, Titanic, love Titanic, Tom and Jerry and the Magic Ring, okay. Top Gun, one of my favourites. Top Gun Maverick, one of the best sequels ever made. Total Recall, Toy Story, Toy Story has my heart too. Toy Story 2, 3, and 4. Oh, we're getting there, we're getting there, we're getting there. Hope so, we're in 6% here. Come on, boys. Trading Places, Train Spotting, one of my favourites. Transporter, Transporter 2, I have seen Transporter 3, don't know where it is. It's not there, obviously, but I have seen it. Tropic Thunder, True Lies, The Truman Show, Turbo, a Power Rangers movie. Again, grew up with Power Rangers, love this one. Turner and Hooch. Don't judge me, please. The Twins, Twister, Tyrannosaur. Paddy Considine directed this movie with Olivia Colman and Peter Mullen. Very, very dark. The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, aka Nicolas Cage, the movie. Aspects of this movie were perfect, other aspects were bad. Unbreakable, a shocker to me, I loved it. Uncle Buck, classic. Unforgiven, this was Clint Eastwood's return to westerns after about 20 years. Pixar's Up, everyone knows it. Urban Legend, it's good. Urban Legend's Final Cut, not so good. Us, again, another Jordan Peele movie like Get Out, very creepy. Vacancy, haven't seen it in years. The Modern Vacation movie, not too good. Vampire's Kiss, this is pure crazy Nicolas Cage. I'm a vampire. The Van, classic Irish movie. Same director as The Commitments from the Roddy Doyle series of novels. Vault of Horror, anthology movie, very creepy. Tom Baker, Ty Thomas, Jurgen. I was going to say Jurgen Klopp there, but I can't be him. But no, it's 4 or 5 different stories, and they're all very creepy. Venom, oh dear God, Venom at the McCarnage, oh Jesus Christ. V for Vendetta, badass movie from the Wachowskis. Village of the Damned, creepy kids being creepy. Violent Night, such a surprise for me. This was so fun. Oh, and we're at low battery. We're near there, we're near there. Hold on, hold on. Come on. Walk the Line, Joaquin Phoenix is Johnny Cash. Probably the best biopic there is. Wallace and Gromit, Curse the Were-Rabbit. War of the Worlds. Warrior, great. Waterboy, favourite Adam Sandler movie. Waterworld, yeah. Wayne's World 2. We're not worthy. Wedding Crashers. Oh, come on, come on, we're near there. We're near there, I can feel it. Wedding Crashers, yes. Wedding Ringer, Wedding Singer. What Dreams May Come. So sad, but so uplifting too. What Lies Beneath. Spoiler, Harrison Ford plays the bad guy. When a Stranger Calls, the first 20 minutes are better than the rest of the movie. When a Stranger Calls, the remake, it's a remake. When Harry Met Sally, yep. Whiplash, fantastic. Damien Chazelle movie. J.K. Simmons won the Best Supporting Actor Oscar, I think, or Golden Globe at least. White Chicks, classic. The Wicker Man, creepy as fuck. British horror movie. Wild at Heart, Nicolas Cage and Willem Dafoe. Willem Dafoe's creepy as hell in it too. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the best one. The Witches scared the shit out of me. Witness, Harrison Ford has to go undercover in Amish country. The Wizard of Oz, creepy as shit. Wolf Creek, I love Wolf Creek. Wolf Creek 2, not as good. Wolf of Wall Street, arguably my favorite Martin Scorsese movie. The Wolverine. The timeline's all fucked up. The World Is Not Enough, Bond. The World's End, the final bit of the Cornetto trilogy. Wreck-It Ralph. The Wrestler. I love The Wrestler. So good. Wrongfully Accused. Leslie Nielsen. Wrong Turn. Wrong Turn 2. Wrong Turn 3. X. Shocked the hell out of me as well as Pearl. Such a throwback to slasher movies. Um, See, you've X-Men, X-Men 2, X-Men Days of Future Past, X-Men First Class, X-Men The Last Stand, Yes Man, Yesterday. If you're a Beatles fan, you'll love it. You Don't Mess with the Zohan, You've Got Mail, Yu-Gi-Oh! The Movie, Zack Snyder's Justice League. It's putting a sticky plaster over a gaping wound. Zodiac, and I think that's it. Is that it? I'm gonna just double check here. I don't want to leave anything out. Yes, that's it. Oh, oh, we got there. Oh, thank God. Well, listen, folks. I want to thank each and every one of you. If you've stuck to the end here, if you haven't, I don't really blame you, to be honest. I'm hanging on by a thread here. But no, guys, thank you so much for listening to this so far, and this is going to be fun to look back on in later years. But listen, folks, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all again soon. All right, bye.